David here from Tesla Israel. Today we're going to go over the different ways that I can charge my car. So let's go see. Please subscribe and like this channel and comment below. So what you can see here is something that people in America are familiar with. This is the socket plug for Tesla. It's their proprietary stuff, so they don't have this in Israel, but this actually comes with the car when you buy it in America. This piece, you can see here, this is the connection for the CCS Type 1 connection, which they don't really have charging stations in Israel of this type. So what we had to buy was this little beauty, which you see here. It has this Type 1 connection, and on the other end of it, it has this Type 2 connection. And basically in our parking spot, we have this charging place, which has this, you can see, has the Type 2. Basically we connect all of these together, and then we can get everything going. And I'll show a video of the actual charging with it. It gets somewhere around like between 7 and 8 kilowatts per hour. And it was good enough to charge it from 0 to 100% in about 10 hours, something like that. So overnight, it's not too bad. That's one of the options that we have. You can see here the actual charging of the car. It's getting 30 amps with 228 watts, which is around 7 kilowatts, but it usually goes up to around 240 volts, and it goes to 7.5 kilowatts. You can see it's around 44 kilometers per hour, and you have a range of around 518, but it's really longer than that actually. So here we can see another option to charge at home. Basically, this is something you get in America. You also get something similar in Israel. The difference is once again you have this part, which is the one from America for the socket, and you get this, which is to connect to an American connection. You connect this to this part, and you can get a nice speed. If you can see on here, it's a total of 240 and 32 amps, which will give you around 7 to 8 kilowatts per hour. And then, but I had to buy this part in order to be able to plug in directly to the wall. Difference is this is the max at 16 amps, meaning it's going to be about half, 3.5 4, which means that it's going to double the time, basically, the charge from 0 to 100. So this was my option for home charging. On the road, I went to, as you can see here, it's a website of evmeter.com, actually located here in Israel. So this is what connects to the charging station in Israel, to the Type 2. It basically goes over and changes to the Type 1. And then I just have to take this part that I got from America when I got the car and connect it to here, and then plug it into the car. Once I plug it into the car, it gives me the same thing as I get at home, around 7.5, 8 kilowatts per hour, and then I'm set. It's I can charge for whatever distance that I need and get to where I need to go. Another option that I purchased was this. This is basically, you can see, this is the Type 2 combo, and this goes over to the Tesla socket that we have from America. So this can actually handle up to 250 kilowatts per hour, which is nice. The only issue is in order to get it to work, I would have to have Tesla switch out the ECU unit in the car to be the European one, and I really don't want to touch the car, so I'm gonna wait until there's a piece that actually from Tesla that they make and is available currently in Korea, but it doesn't work in the US cars. It's the same thing, but it's a combo Type 1, and then it goes up to I think around 150 kilowatts, which is the same speed in America. And once I can get that, basically what I would do is there's a cable that has a Type 2 combo to Type 1 combo, and I would use that to connect to the machines here, to the charging stations here, and then connect it to my car, and I should be able to get around 150 kilowatts per hour, and that would be able to charge the car from 0 to 80% in about 20-30 minutes if it works as well as it did in the US. And those are my options right now. Those are the things that I was able to do, and my preference is not to touch the car. So charging at 7 or 8 kilowatts per hour is pretty nice. I haven't had any issues with it. It really works nicely for me. As you guys can understand, it's not really that big of an issue to charge here, because basically most of the time what I do is when I get home, if there's a need to charge, which it's been about once every 2 weeks for me, once every 2-3 weeks that I need to charge, and I just plug it in at home overnight, and it's charged by the time I get up in the morning, fully charged. And in reality is, in Israel, you don't really need that type of distance currently in the winter season when kids are in school and work and everything like that. I don't really need that big of a distance. Like you saw, we drove all the way from Bet Shemesh to Tveria and back in the same day, 370, 380 kilometers, and we still had another 140 kilometers left. So the reality is, we don't really need it right now. Maybe if we were traveling up north, going from place to place. But then again, when we were in Tveria, at the Leonardo Hotel, they have 4 charging stations. So if you stay there, just charge overnight, and you're fully charged in the morning. And then you can just drive around as much as you want. And the same thing is with Eilat. If we drive from here to Eilat, we could probably make it back, because from here to Eilat is 200 and something kilometers, back another 200 and something kilometers, 400 and something kilometers. We had 140 kilometers left after driving around 380. So we could make it there and back to Eilat. And even if we didn't want to come back, we could just charge there, we could drive around, do all kinds of stuff without a problem. So charging wise, with the Tesla, definitely no problem. 100% no problem. With the Model Y long range, phenomenal. I'm very happy with the charging.